Hey, what's up, everybody? It is Sunday, May 12th, 2024, and welcome to a brand new episode of the Now Mind You podcast. Bow, 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 bow. This is the combat episode, episode 113 to be exact, combat edition. We are your
Combat.
hosts. I'm TJ.
I'm Bryce,
Matt is on his way
and it's a
back.
wonderful day.
God damn it. Matt is on his way back. He'll be back with us next week, but let's let our boy rest. He's been overseas for a little bit, but he will be back with us. If anything, he might have actually landed already, so who knows? But yeah. So with that, what are we covering today? We're going to be covering UFC Fight Night St. Louis versus Nascimento. On this card, we had a six-fight main card. We had at heavyweight the opener Waldo Cortez Acosta versus Rubelis de Spain. Featherweight, we had Alex Caceres versus Sean Woodson. Lightweight, we had Diego Ferreira versus Mateusz Roundbechki. Um, Hey, I listened to them pronounce the names on the broadcast so I wouldn't mess up. and
Okay,
then
word, word,
and
word.
then light heavyweight, we had Alonzo Menefiel versus Carlos Ulberg. Welterweight, we had Joaquin Buckley versus Nursultan Ruziboev. And then at heavyweight, we had, for our main event, of course, Derek Lewis versus Rodrigo Nascimento. With that, I will kick us off by going into the heavyweight battle, Waldo Cortez Acosta versus Robelis de Spain. Okay, here's the rub, if you will. First of all, the heavyweight limits are at the lower end 206, at the upper end 265. That's insane.
Yeah.
But this is why I'm bringing this up. Robelis de Spain is 6'7". I don't think y'all heard me. He is 6'7".
Yeah, nah, that's crazy.
And this man is like he's got Olympic Taekwondo under his belt. The reason why he got signed to the UFC so quickly is because he was, for one, on a tear in the MMA world at the pro level. But it's
Mm.
like this man has like one kick, one punch knockout capabilities, another Taekwondo slash karate stylist. I mean, we've seen that with MVP, we've seen that with Stephen Wonderboy Thompson.
Yeah,
There is a case to be made for that type of point fighting stance and style being effective in MMA. Um,
especially in heavyweight.
especially at heavyweight, dog. And this was, unfortunately for Robelis, an exception because, on the other hand, we have our boy from the Dominican Republic, Waldo Cortez Acosta, aka the Salsa Boy, aka this man could have been a crazy good fastball pitcher, but decided to take his talents to MMA. And boy, he has been on a tear. I think coming into this, he's like what, six fight ish win streak. I think he's only got like one L since being in the UFC. But bro, Salsa Boy's been doing his thing, and this was honestly the first like bout of his where I've seen him wrestle. So the thing about being a pro fighter is there's gonna be tape on you. There's gonna be data about you.
Yeah.
And Salsa Boy and his camp did their research. They saw what Robelis could do on his feet, and they're like, "Hey, you know what, bro? We finna wrestle. We finna grapple." I've never seen him do takedowns before. How many takedowns did he have? He had three, one in every single round, bro. And he just kept, like, the first round, I think it was still kind of like the feeling out stage. So he took down Robelis de Spain, like up against the cage, after doing a bunch of like clinch work, wrestling on the fence, so on and so forth. He took Robelis de Spain down and basically controlled him for the remainder of the round. Now, Dean Thomas had pointed something out, which was very true. And I think Salsa Boy ended up implementing that in the later rounds, but he wasn't really piling on the damage the way he should have in the first round. So a lot of it was just like, let me just keep this dude on his back. Let me just make sure he's not moving. Let me just establish his dominant position. But then rounds 2 and 3, bro, like, yeah. Salsa Boy kept getting the takedowns and started piling on the damage. Not to say that Robles didn't have his moments where he's like, hey, bro, there's a reason why you don't want to stand up with me. Because he had, like, similar to the point fighting style, Robles keeps his hands low. And because his hands are low, it's like you can't necessarily tell what angle the strikes are coming from. But you know what you can tell? Them bitches are powerful. Like,
Yeah.
you get hit with one, that could be it. The kicks, the punches, insane. But Salsa Boy had his moments and he was smart too. Like he was kind of at certain points, you're like, okay, why is he standing with his back against the fence like this? But he was really trying to bait Robles into punching him so he could clinch up with him and eventually get the takedown once again. So it was a unanimous decision win for Salsa Boy. But the thing that was really cool to see is like he kind of has added a wrinkle to his game. Now, granted, Robles has shown that, hey, your grappling is questionable, if not non-existent right now. So he's definitely got to go back to the lab and work on that. Now, if you put Salsa Boy against an actual heavyweight wrestler, I don't think he's engaging in the grappling aspect of things like that. I think he probably goes back to hands and kicks. But it was an impressive showing for Salsa Boy to switch up strategies and to adapt to whoever's in front of you. That was good. I really enjoyed that. And spoiler alert, there wasn't a snoozer fight on this card at all.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Uh, Shit. On that note, should we go into Caceres versus Woodson?
We shall. We shall.
All right. So Caceres was ranked number 15. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. So this means that Woodson, spoiler alert, Woodson won, and now he gets to break into the featherweight top 15, which I'm like, that kind of hurts because Bruce Leroy, man,
I think he just got there too. Didn't he get there off the
yeah,
last fight?
yeah, Bruce Leroy,
Damn.
man. Like Alex Caceres, Bryce and I were talking off air. He's one of our favorite fighters at
Yeah.
featherweight. Like he's overdue. He's been around. He's been doing his thing. He's been evolving with the game. Um, and look, Sean Woodson, he's fighting out of St. Louis. And just like in the Brazilian card, bro, there's something for that home field advantage buff. Like you're fighting at the home field in front of your fans and shit. That gives you at least plus 30 strength, right?
Yeah.
So the first round was definitely not in Caceres' favor. The other thing we need to know about Sean Woodson is that he's actually got a really crazy amateur boxing record and background.
Mm.
Like the dude has hands. And if you look at the way he's built, it's like it's funny because they're both in featherweight, but like I think Laura Psycho said this. And it was like kind of funny, but also kind of true. She was like, he's like 90% legs. The dude is a range master. Like he will hit you from a distance. And Caceres in that first round, when they're trying to get their reads and stuff, was really fucking struggling with that. Like, how do I bridge the gap? How do I get my combos going? But then round two happened. You know, Woodson clearly had one round one.
Yeah.
Round two happened, and it was like, all right, Woodson's still getting off some punches, but now Caceres is starting to really bridge that gap, get in there, and you're seeing him like hit a bunch of shots to the body, implementing spinning moves, like spinning back fists against the cage. When Woodson would like hit him with a direction change, he's like, okay, I missed. Let me just use that momentum, ride it into a spinning back fist, and keep the combo going. One thing I wish Caceres had done more in round two and in round three was like continue his combo, just throw like one more additional strike. There were a few moments I feel like where he would be satisfied with the all right, body shot, head shot. Okay, cool. I'm gonna back off. I mean, he definitely really let loose in that third round, but in round two, I feel like he could have sent it a little bit more. Spoiler alert, Woodson won, but I feel like Caceres got a little robbed personally.
Mm.
And even if it wasn't a win for Caceres, I'm surprised it was a unanimous decision. I feel like one of the judges would have given him round two, but I'm not a judge. What'd you think, Bryce?
Hey, just going off of looks, honestly, from the end of the fight, I could have swore Caceres got it because I don't know, maybe Caceres just had a little bit more power on them hits. Don't get me wrong. Wilson did have. Did I say Wilson? Yeah, Woodson did have more strikes than Caceres. Woodson had 101 total strikes, while Caceres had 85. But I guess 80 Caceres just came through in the end and was able to just kind of leave more on the impact facially. But it is sad. I do like Woodson, but it's a good job. I mean, I do like Caceres, but it's a good job on Woodson climbing the ranks. He is somebody I remember seeing in previous bouts, and he's been entertaining to watch in his own way. Um, I don't, and yeah, he had another fight in January where he won by decision. So he's has that momentum going, and it's good on him. Fun fact: he used to fight in heavyweight in boxing. If
Woodson?
previous fight, yeah, if you see previous pictures of him, it's crazy. But yeah,
What?
good showing on Woodson.
My nigga, how do you cut to 145?
Saying, bro, I'm saying, had to be years of cutting, like on a
Minus
healthy,
some weight cut.
a healthy cut.
This nigga got
I
to
don't
plan his
have a
fights
fight.
2 years in advance just to make weight.
Yeah, like what the fuck does he sit at regularly?
Right.
He must work out every day. But yeah, good job on Woodson. We're definitely gonna see Alex again. Alex is kind of a workhorse. I feel like he just fought um before this. We just saw him in the cage, so if anything, he'll probably get another fight soon. Um, but we will see. Shall we move to the next one?
Let's get it.
All right. We had a lightweight bout between Diego Ferreira and Mateusz Rebecki.
Round Bechki.
Raubecki.
Yeah.
Raubecki. I gotta say this was my favorite fight on the card. I
Bro.
did enjoy everything I saw at that point, but this one was just so good.
Hey, low key, kind of like some type of Cinderella story. I don't know, man.
Really
That
was.
was insane.
It was a Cinderella story, and it's a lesson about a battle plan versus just kind of going in there and thinking you about to take somebody's head off. Starting off the fight, Rebecki was just throwing blows, just trying to take Diego's head off. Diego had a plan. He was just being very
and a chin,
strike and a chin. When he first took that strike and he wasn't moving or phased, I was like, oh man, this is gonna be crazy. Rebecki, I mean, Diego was kind of on the back leg. He was definitely trying to get away from Rebecki a little bit, try to save himself from getting those powerful blows, but he will always end up on the cage. And they kind of have like a scuffle, but I feel like Diego was kind of getting the better in the scuffles. He was getting the cleaner shots. Rebecki definitely threw a couple that could have took Diego head off.
100%.
I think he did catch him. He did catch him with one good, like you said, catch him on the chin, but he took it. So I was like, oh shit. And then the commentators mentioned one thing about Rebecki is like the way he strikes, as time goes on, he's gonna tire himself out. That's exactly what the fuck happened. Diego just definitely took advantage of Rebecki just basically just gassing out. And I want to say by the second round, oh yeah, and then didn't he get a knockdown in the first round? He got a knockdown.
Yeah.
Rebecki got a knockdown in the first round. It definitely looked like Diego was gonna lose, but I want to say Diego got the first takedown in the first round as well. And I think that was when that took a lot of energy out of Rebecki. Going into the second round, Rebecki was still kind of throwing, but it was very clear that the power that he had in that first round wasn't there. Meanwhile, Diego was still clean with the shots, still catching him when he could. Still just being cleaner with the 1-2, as well as that roundhouse kick, the rear leg kick to the head. He wasn't really catching it, but it was definitely still putting his mark, catching the arms, kind of still doing some head damage. Like you still taking that impact to the head,
100%, yeah.
As well as I think he got another takedown. I don't think Rebecki really started to try to do takedowns until the no, I guess he did try to get some in the second round because he was starting to get tired. But going back to that, Diego was just cleaner. 3 out of 3 takedowns. Rebecki tried to catch up with the 4 out of 5, and I really did thought Rebecki could have took it. But by the third round, it was very clear that Rebecki had nothing left in the tank. He was just fighting off a spear, and Diego just clearly took advantage. Eventually Diego got the TKO. I believe he took him down and then just kind of rode him. But really, all it was Rebecki was so tired he couldn't even defend himself on the ground. He didn't get knocked out.
Low key, late stoppage.
Late stoppage, definitely a late stoppage. Like he couldn't do anything. I feel like there was a lot of late stoppages with this card. If I'm being honest with you.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, beautiful display by Diego. You know I like my numbers. Diego had 151 out of 272 total strikes. Robeski had 60 out of 146. He was dodging them joints, man.
Mm-hmm.
Significant strikes. Diego had 123 out of 241. Robeski had 52 out of 137. Takedowns. Robeski had 3 out of 3. No, excuse me. Diego had 3 out of 3. Robeski had 4 out of 5.
Mm.
Definitely my favorite card of the fight. Diego looked amazing. It was a very clean win. Basically going from the guy on the back leg to the guy just being dominant on top, and
It
that's
was
just kind of
insane.
it was the beauty of watching a UFC fight. That's something you definitely want to see.
Yep.
Uh, Going into the next one, this is the complete opposite of that. This is the second thing that most people want to see. If anything, this is the commercial way people want to see is somebody get knocked the fuck out. Clean cut knockout. Somebody got a Jimmy John sandwich after this. This is
Oh
the
my God.
heavyweight battle. It was Alonzo Menifield. Am I lying?
No.
Am I lying? Okay. Alonzo Menifield versus Carlos Ulberg. Um, this fight was 12 seconds.
He is
I
not
can tell you
exaggerating,
exactly
y'all.
how this went down. Alonzo rushed over swinging. Carlos came through.
It said
Was
mink.
catching him. It was a little scuffle. Caught him with the hook. Mink. Actually, he caught him with a hook, and then he caught him with a second hook that dropped Menifield to the ground, and the ref just stopped. It was very quick. It was 12 seconds. It was definitely a good showing by Carlos. Um, I don't know what else there would be to say to this
I was
one.
like, I know you're not about to pull up the numbers.
No, there's really no point.
Like,
One knockdown.
you're right.
Um, just yeah, it's not a good idea to kind of rush into a UFC battle, like going in crazy. Some like it, I mean, like I guess sometimes it works out, right? You can end up like Jorge Masvidal, or you could end up like Alonzo Menifield. Sometimes it just ain't worth it.
Hmm.
Yeah. But great knockout. I don't know if he got knockout. He definitely getting. He should have. He's still a contender for knockout in the night, but
Yeah. He definitely
yeah,
got a performance of the night bonus. So did
I don't think he got
Diego.
performance of the night bonus
Yeah.
after the fight before that. I don't know. I mean, you got to give him something because he did. That
No,
was
like so like Carlos got a bonus and Diego got a bonus too.
all right. Cool, cool,
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
Good, good.
They were the only ones on the main card to get bonuses.
Why can't they get no bonus?
No. Maybe
Ah,
they might have maybe they hooked him up on the side though since he put on
he
for
a
St.
co
Louis.
man, right?
Yeah.
He a co man. Lewis better have got something.
Yeah, she was insane. We'll talk about that.
Um,
But shit, speaking of which, welterweight bout, we had Joaquin Butley versus Nursultan Ruziboev. So Joaquin recently, after his victory over Vicente Luque, just cracked into the top 15 of the welterweight rankings, right? Nursultan Ruziboev, who we've actually covered before on the podcast, I was like, do I know this nigga? It's like, actually, you do. Um, but he's trying to crack into the top 15 too. That's why he takes up this matchup against Joaquin Butley. Now, here's the thing about Nursultan Nazarbayev. This man is from Uzbekistan, right? He's from one of the countries that ends in Stan. However, his nickname is Black. I don't even want to know. Moving past it. However, Nursultan Ruziboev is 6'5". Welterweight is 170. You tell me how he is 6'5" and cuts down to 170. How does he not die? This has come from someone who is 6'3" and well over 200 pounds and who once had to cut weight to like 212 for a jiu-jitsu tournament and thought he wasn't going to live to see the next day.
Oh, hell no.
So being 6'5" and below 200 is just insanity to me. I digress a lot. Matt's probably laughing at this. But yo, dude, Joaquin. So I was talking to like another one of my friends who's like big into MMA as well. I was talking to my boy Kyle. Shout out Kyle. I told Kyle, I was like, man, this might actually be a fight that's somewhat the epitome of martial arts. You versus the bigger, on paper, stronger opponent, and just dominating them.
Mm.
Like Joaquin Buckley is 5'10". Nursultan Ruziboev is 6'5". Joaquin Buckley had this man in mount and was delivering tyranny from up
Yes, he
top.
was.
That is insane. Joaquin Buckley took this dude down every round.
Yep.
Blast double. You guys don't seem to understand how insane that is, considering the range Sultan Ruziboev has just off of his limbs. Like, it was a unanimous decision win for Buckley, but not to say that he didn't try to get the finish, right? There were a few like suspect
Oh, yeah.
moments in terms of the reffing when like Ruziboev was like, bro, he's barely defending these strikes. Like, ref, you want to call it? Ref was like, nah, let me see some more. Right?
Right.
like,
Boy.
like it ends up rolling over into the next round. But it's like, hey, I don't think it's out of pocket to say that this was a dominant performance for Joaquin Buckley, like on the striking tip, right? And on the grappling tip. It was just like, and Buckley wasn't just striking when he had him on the mats. Like he was striking when they were standing up on their feet too. Like
Yeah.
it was just like, there was always that whisper about like, oh man, Buckley's just gonna be living off of that one spinning back kick highlight for the rest of his career.
Like, no.
No, dog,
Buckley,
not at
Buckley,
all.
Buckley is definitely someone that entertains, and he is pushing forward. Like, you know, say what you will about him. He always goes for good opponents.
Yeah.
Um, it's a battle. He might get caught, but he might catch somebody else. And clearly going to this fight, he was not afraid at all. He was
Mm-mm.
pushing forward.
Mm-mm.
To the point where he was like, "Come on, dude, what you gonna do?" He was telling him to fight. He was telling
Yeah.
his opponent to fight back.
Yeah.
And yeah, he just came in with a plan. He was just smarter. He'd rush in, try to get on the body and take him down because he knew, when fighting somebody that's taller than you, you can't really afford to.
You cannot give them space.
You can't give him space. You can't be on the outside. You gotta make your way in, and that's what he did. And it worked beautifully in his favor. I feel like the when he got on the ground, it was definitely a big difference in ability.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Also, I just think that like the rounds were kind of wearing off on Rubezov, Ruzibov,
Ruziboyev.
Ruziboyev. It was it
Mm-hmm.
was definitely wearing down on him. And man, Buckley just completely dominated him. It was amazing.
Yeah.
Definitely one of the best displays from Buckley. Consider it was 5 rounds too. I don't think we ever got a 5 round fight out of
No,
him.
it was 3 rounds, 3 rounds, 3 rounds.
It was
Yeah.
3 rounds. Okay, it was
Yeah.
three. I'm sorry, 3 rounds, 5 minutes. But yeah, total strikes 113 out of 187. Significant strikes 86 out of 156. Takedowns 4 out of 4. Uh, Ruziboev only got 43 out of 87 total strikes.
Mm-hmm.
31 out of 72 significant strikes. It was Joaquin's game, from beginning to end. The when he got on top and was like raining the blows down, and then he went for the triangle. I was like, man,
Yeah, I think we were
I was,
all like, just like, man,
why did you
bro.
do that? That
Like
was not smart.
in hindsight, I could see why he did it because he was setting it up.
Yeah.
But like once I was like, oh shit, he didn't lock that shoulder down. Now Ruziboyev is moving into it's like like because the reason why it's infuriating because it's like he could have gotten that round stolen from him, and it could have been a finish situation, right?
I think
Um,
that's what he wanted though. I think he wanted to have that finish on the. I
yeah,
think that would have
put a
definitely,
little stamp on it, yeah.
yeah, for sure. Especially if what he was planning at the end was what he was gonna do all along. That would have definitely made a splash.
Hey, we got to talk about that call out of McGregor, bro. He insulted that man's whole patriarchal
Ooh.
bloodline, bro. That
Oh,
was
his whole bloodline
hilarious.
hoes.
That was hilarious.
And then he said, if you don't respond, that says everything. Did he respond yet?
I
Do
don't
you
know. I didn't
respond?
follow up. I didn't follow up.
Do you respond to that?
Uh,
It's a damn if you do, damn if you don't type of thing.
right.
I don't know.
But smart on Buckley because it kind of raises his profile. I mean, it's some heel shit, but like we've
Definitely is.
also learned over the years that, being the heel gets you paid.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm saying it's smart on him because, hey, next fight, he might just get a bigger paycheck as a result.
Oh yeah, maybe Buckley trying to get that pay-per-view money. I can't be
Yeah.
mad at him.
Yeah.
It's not like, honestly, I think we're starting to see more fighters just kind of be on that, like, yo, give me a big fight to get paid. I think
Mm-hmm.
Kevin Holland's on that wave too. I know I remember somebody in the group chat talked about like his next opponent not being a satisfying one.
Mm.
But if people are gonna pay to see Kevin Holland, it doesn't, I don't know.
Yeah, he's just a likable dude,
Mm-hmm.
and he can fucking fight.
He can
Uh,
fucking fight. It's just the
shit.
people that he gets are just crazy.
Yeah, yeah. Shit, man. Speaking of crazy,
Speaking of crazy,
let's get into
let's
Derek
go in.
Lewis versus Rodrigo
That fight was
Nascimento.
so aggravating for me.
Go into it, bro.
Okay, Derek Lewis versus Rodrigo Nascimento. Going in, the first round. You know what? Fuck that. Let me go into the numbers so you see how frustrating I felt. No, okay, here we go. Right? Of course, Derek Lewis won. All right, but the numbers. Derek got 47 out of 81 total strikes.
Mm-hmm.
Nascimento got 72 out of 92.
Mm-hmm.
He got outstruck. Significant strikes. 41 out of 75. That was Derek.
Mm-hmm.
Nascimento, 27 out of 41. Okay, now significant strikes, the ones Derek hit, they fucking matter. Clearly. Takedowns, Derek got 1 out of 4. Nascimento only got 1, and it got the job done.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, that when Nascimento, like, it was dope seeing Derek get the takedown. It was awesome. It was cool.
Yeah.
And then going into the fight, it was very much a Derek Lewis situation. It was great, seeing him do that knee. Now we're just kind of like, oh, what else does Derek got now? What is skinny? But then, like, we saw very clearly that in the clinch, that was not where you needed to be with Nascimento.
Yeah.
Not at all. Every time they get in the clinch, Nascimento would take
like,
over
right.
and then attempt to take down
Uno reverse. Yeah.
or reverse it, and then Derek can't fucking put no power on him.
Yeah.
Do anything. And I want to say it was the first round where Derek stayed on the ground the whole fucking time, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. No, that is correct.
Yeah.
Nascimento took him down, and there was that round, and then there was a round where he had the failed takedown, and Nascimento capitalized on it.
And Nascimento capitalized. Yep.
Yeah.
And so it was at that point where they're just like, bro, you can't do that. You just got to grapple. But I just felt like in this camp, he was so used to like getting to the grapple that was like the instinct that took over.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, bro, stop grappling. What are you doing? What are you doing? Stop grappling. It wasn't until the third round where the coach was just like, bro.
Coach was like, hey, bro, you're not all time for submissions, G. It's like it's all time for knockouts.
Did you forget that your name is Derek Lewis? Black Beast? Go Black Beast it. Don't, no, bro. Stop it. And yeah, he went in there and he caught him with a shot from hell, fam. Like, that was an anime punch. That was so bad.
The sound alone, bro, he hit this man so hard he forgot how to fall.
He forgot how to fall, bro.
Like, it's like his body was going one way. He was like, wait, I don't think that's where I'm supposed to fall. And he went the other way.
Right. He was like, wait a minute. I want to fall, but I don't know how. He just collapsed, bro.
I've never seen somebody get hit that hard.
And then, like, he just kept getting hits ran on him. I'm like, bro, stop the fight.
Right, but I think the ref was like Keith Peterson or something like that. Like he's one of the shorter refs. I'm like, what's he gonna do, dog? Like, you think he he's looking at the guys like, what y'all expect me to do?
Nah, I ain't going, TJ. I ain't going, because if you see somebody fall slow, if a fall looks like it's defying gravity in itself, I feel like hey, this is over. You got the dude falling.
I don't disagree. I don't disagree. I'm just saying, like, if I were of Keith Peterson's stature, I too may hesitate to step in between two heavyweights. Like,
bro, that dude got like 5 to 10 extra shots at his head, bro. I was just like, that motherfucker not okay.
Mm-mm.
Fuck a Jimmy John sandwich. That motherfucker. Damn. You got any more thoughts, TJ?
No. Oh, what was your favorite fight? I mean, we already kind of said it.
Yeah, it was
Fajeda Diego's fight.
yeah,
That was like crazy to see someone
it was
overcome
crazy. I forgot to
the
mention how
tone.
like the ref literally.
Wait, say it again, Bryce.
Yep.
No,
I
what'd you
forgot to
say?
mention how the ref stepped into the fight because
Oh,
his
his
head,
eye
I
was
mean his
fucking
eye
bleeding.
was,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And Bisbee was like, bro, you don't do that. I was like, nah, you stop that
You
motherfucker.
should.
He looked like he crying blood. He looked like he got a
Like,
Mangekyu.
you should definitely step in. People only got two eyes.
Yeah,
We ain't got no spares. Technology hasn't evolved that fast yet.
exactly.
Um, shit. Should we go into our picks for UFC Fight Night Barboza versus Murphy? I got
Oh, let's
it
do
pulled
it.
up on ESPN right now.
Let's do it. I got it. I got it up.
All right, so opener for the main card is going to be women's bantamweight. We have Luana
Ooh.
Pinheiro versus Angela Hill.
I'm gonna go Hill.
I'm gonna go Angela Hill. I want her to win. All right. Then next up we got Adrian Yanez. This is at what's this one? Bantamweight. We got Adrian Yanez versus V Salvador. I don't know his first name. It's probably like Vitor.
Vinicius.
Benicia
Vinicius
Salvador.
out. Yeah.
Um I'm not that familiar with Salvador. I am familiar with Yanez, and I feel like
Yeah,
he's
I'm going
kind of
Yanez.
been on a streak of L's. Hold on. I feel like who did we last see in that fight? Yeah, Yanez won one out of his last three, and his last Jonathan
Jonathan
Martinez and Rob
Martinez and
Font.
Rob Font.
Yeah, so I
Yeah.
think Yanez probably has a chip on his shoulder. I'm gonna go with Yanez.
Okay. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go Yanez too. What's the next one? Demba Gorimbo versus Ramiz Brahimaj.
All right,
Um,
let me see. Where is?
Gorimbo been on a roll. Oh no, he's two in the last three.
Yeah, no,
Bro.
right. Me is Brian. It's from Kosovo. War torn from back in the day, Kosovo.
I think I know who you're picking, and
All
I
right, bro. Hey, I'm gonna go with Brahim Maj. Like, hey, hey, not to say that Zimbabwe is easy work. About just like I remember hearing about Kosovo a lot in the news as a kid, bro. Like,
yeah,
I'm
word.
going,
If you going Brahimaj, I'm gonna go Gorimbo.
all right.
I'm gonna go Gorimbo.
All
All right.
right.
Oh
Then
man,
we got Chaos Williams versus Harris. Hold on, what's his first name? Come on,
Carlston. Carlston. His name is.
Carlson Harris. I'm going with my boy Chaos Williams.
I think I'm gonna go Chaos as well.
And then main event, Edson
Barboza.
Barboza versus Lerone Murphy. Now I know Lerone is somewhat up and coming, but bro, that's Barboza.
That is Barboza.
I'm
Yes,
gonna go.
indeed.
I'm gonna go Barboza. He's kind of
I'm
been on
going
a streak.
Barboza. Yeah, man. Yes, he has been on the streak, and it's been crazy. Um, he's still getting like crazy knockout reels. Like the delayed knockout is still crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
yeah.
going Barboza.
I'm
The
gonna go
last fight he
Barboza.
had was insane.
And he's like still in ridiculous shape.
Yeah,
Like, what the fuck? He's 38, bro. When are you going into decline? He said, me and decline don't know each other. I was like, okay.
yeah. That's that Brazilian training, fam. That's just being in Brazil. That should keep you young.
Apparently.
Shit.
All right. So
Yeah.
you guys got our picks. And with that, y'all, we bring this episode to a close. This has been episode 113 Combat. Thank you for listening. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for engaging. It's thoroughly appreciated. If you're looking for the podcast, you can find it on any of your podcast distribution platforms by searching for Now Mind You Podcast. If you're looking for the podcast on social media, at Now Mind You Pod. That's NOWMINDYOUPOD. If you're trying to find us on social media, you can find me on Instagram at Tuss4Skate. That's TUSS _4_SKATE. Where can they find you, Bryce?
Find me on Instagram at Ashe_Onsa. That's AXE_ONCA. Where can they find Matt?
They can find Matt with his strong ass branding on damn near everything at Matt Hambrick. That's MATTHAMBRIC. Thank you all so much. Happy Mother's Day. As of this recording, it'll already be the day after. But if you celebrate, Happy Mother's Day. And with all of that, y'all, stay safe. We'll see y'all next week. Peace.
Peace.